Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. There are a couple of things I would like to address first. We are back in the first area of the underwater part of Jolly Roger's Lagoon. And there's actually something I just found between these videos that I did not know existed before. There is a little passageway under here, and if we follow through it, it will actually take us to another room, and in fact the room it takes us to is the room that you would get by going through the hole in the side of Jolly's building. It's called Smuggler's Cavern, and there's a couple things we can do in here. There's a Jiggy up on top of a like pedestal sort of thing in the middle of the map, but we need a move to get there that I don't have yet. And there's a Cheeto page inside of this fish, and unfortunately that fish had to be a jerk and hit us. This is the new Talon Torpedo move. We get to use Kazooie like this for about 20-25 seconds, something like that, and it'll cost a few red feathers to actually start, but we need to be this way for Kazooie to hit things that have her face on them, and also to go through these fish like that to get a Cheeto page. At the cost of maybe wasting some time on this LP, I'm actually going to open this door and we're going to go through it. I don't know if I can actually do anything with it yet. I think I might be able to, and I just completely lost the door. Through this door though is actually another level that we haven't unlocked yet, and is actually the 6th level, this being the 4th level of course. So we are going to go through here for a minute. This might be a waste of time, but I really hope not. I'm thinking there's probably a Jinjo we can get from it. These fans, you have to hit with ice. No, do not do that. You have to hit them with ice eggs. And it keeps... I gotta wait for the thing to show up, I guess. Okay, you have to hit them with ice eggs, and they'll freeze and stop moving. And then you can swim through them. If you swim through them while they're still spinning, they will do damage to you. You do have to shoot the center red area. If you shoot those with grenade eggs after you've frozen them, they will actually break apart and blow up, and then you'll be able to use them, or not, or be able to go move through there without freezing them again. And yes, there was in fact a Jinjo that we could get back here. So there's a blue Jinjo there that we could get. And we actually have a Jinjo that I forgot from the last part to get before we move on with Atlantis. So once again we have to freeze these things because I did not blow them up. I don't really care that much to switch eggs and blow them up for just that trip to get the Jinjo. Plus it kind of wastes eggs a bit, although eggs are in plenty of supply. So like I said, this cavern that we're in over here is from the side of Jolly's. That Jiggy you see up there on the pedestal we can't get from the water. The only way to get it is using a move that we will learn later for Kazooie, but not actually for 3 levels, I think. I believe we learn it in the 7th level. And actually there's a Cheeto page that we would get the same way in this same level, that I will not be able to get this first time around. Yeah, Jolly Roger's Lagoon actually connects to a lot of other levels, in the fact that you have to do other things either coming from it or going to it. There's moves that you need to get, and there's connections and stuff. For example, the connection we just went through went to a level that actually has, I think, 3 separate connections to Jolly Roger's Lagoon. And over here, there is a shock jump pad behind the counter that had Captain Blubber in it. And I'm sorry that camera angle was kind of bad, but basically if we take this shock jump pad up here, there will be a Jinjo. And that is actually the 2nd orange Jinjo out of 2. So we will complete the orange Jinjo family, and we will get a Jiggy for our efforts. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that I came back to that. Anyway, we are going to go back down to Atlantis, and actually I think the fastest way would be to take the warp pad. There are actually multiple warp pads in this level, which I found much to my surprise many years after the first time I played this level. I believe there's going to be 5 like most levels. So we're going to go back to Atlantis. We have a lot to do in Atlantis, and hopefully we'll be able to get a large chunk of it done. But I don't know, not for sure. We have another enemy. Sorry. I have the pronunciation skills of a 3rd grader. But anyway, if we freeze it, we will get a treble clef. I think there's 1 treble clef in every level, although I might be wrong because I can't think of one that would be in the next level. Anyway, if we break that door with Kazooie, we can go on through. In here is actually going to be that Cheeto page I talked about earlier that we can't get. And there might be something else in here that we can get, although I'm not entirely sure. I think it might just be the Cheeto page, actually. But if we come in here, there are Buccaneer Pirates, there are split pads. As I said, that move is only for Kazooie, so we will have to split up like that. And you can't take Kazooie down here normally if you use the split pads in town, because she can't dive by herself, and this is a Minjo, so we don't have to do anything with that. And unfortunately, I think that means that there's nothing else that we can do in here. So we will be moving on and coming back later when we can get that Cheeto page that you see up at the top of the screen. And that was the ancient swimming baths, which actually, if you think about the way that building was laid out, I don't understand how that would be baths. The entrance leads into the deepest part of the building. But I digress. Anyway, on this door, which is apparently open, I thought this was the door that we had to solve a puzzle for. Evidently not. If we come in here, though, this is called the Seaweed Sanctum. And there's seaweed all over the place. There is actually normal seaweed that kind of doesn't do anything, and then there's that seaweed and this seaweed that is actually enemies that will do damage to you. I believe that seaweed isn't actually an enemy. There are 3 levels up here, and I believe there's a Jinjo that we can get, and possibly a Jiggy, although I'm not sure. I don't quite remember everything that is down here in these buildings in Jolly Roger Lagoon, because as a child I hated them so much I would avoid them at all costs, much like I did with Clanker's Cavern and Banjo-Kazooie. That's only because of the water mechanics. But anyway, if we continue on up, there will be a Jinjo, and that entrance over there will take us to another part of the level that we will actually probably go to and do some stuff in as soon as I get that Jinjo, which is over here. And interestingly enough, this is, if I can get it, the last brown Jinjo. And so we have completed 2 Jinjo families within the same video. So that's 2 Jiggies that aren't even technically part of Jolly Roger's Lagoon that we have already gotten in this video. That still fascinates me. But anyway, if we go out this back top entrance, we will end up in a cave area called the Sea Bottom. And in the Sea Bottom, we have a fish with some eggs in it, one of those transparent fish that we can fly through. A warp pad, which I'm going to go get now, so that we can come back here. And I don't think there's actually more than one thing that we have to do back here, although there might be some connections to other parts of the level. And oh my god, look at that fish, it is ginormous. I was terrified of this fish as a child. Basically what we have to do is we have to shoot grenade eggs at its mouth and knock out all of its teeth. As weird as that sounds, that is what we have to do with it. And this is in fact the fish that ate Jolly's partner and Captain Blubber's Wave Racer. And it's getting really, really close to me now, which is quite irritating, and I can't get a good aim on its teeth. There we go, that's a very nice aim on its teeth. Evidently shooting it in the eyes with grenades don't do anything. The rest of the fish can't really do damage to you. I don't even know if the teeth can do damage to you. I don't actually know if this thing can do damage to you at all. I assume it can when it has its teeth if you swim into them. And I'm trying to get into its mouth, but I'm failing horribly. Yes, once you knock out its teeth, its mouth will open and you can go inside. There we go. Finally got it. And inside there will be 2 things for us to get. One is a Jinjo and one is a Jiggy. And so this area is called Inside the Big Fish, and it looks remarkably similar to Clanker's Cavern. And interestingly enough, I just defeated that pirate with a Breagle Bash, which you remember we got from the secret egg. And if we go down this passageway, there's a yellow Jinjo. We now have 2 out of 3. So close to completing another family, but unfortunately I believe that is the last Jinjo we will be getting. Actually, no, there's one more Jinjo we'll be getting. Maybe it'll be yellow. I don't know. But anyway, down in here we will meet this character, who, interestingly enough, when you look at her in person, she has 2 eyes, and if you look at her down where the head is for her speech bubble, she has 3 eyes. So I don't quite understand how that works, but I don't know, maybe it was supposed to be that on purpose, or maybe I'm just seeing things, because the more I look at it, it appears that she doesn't have 3 eyes in that picture, but it sure does look like it. It might just in fact be the area between her eyes. It sure looks like a 3rd eye to me. Anyway, as we're talking to her, basically she says that she got eaten by this fish on the wave racer, and we told her we can leave, and we asked her if she had a Jiggy, and she does not. But Jolly has a Jiggy, and we will be getting that Jiggy from Jolly once we return to his inn. He will give it to us for saving her. Other than that, there isn't anything else that we can do inside the Big Fish, and with the remaining time, I think we are going to take the only other entrance out of the sea bottom and go and get probably that other Jinjo and a warp pad, and that's about it. I must orient myself here. In the next video, though, which is probably what I'll be talking about because there's not much more to do in this video, in the next video we will be probably getting the rest of the Jiggies around Atlantis and going to visit Humbawamba, depending upon if I can do one mission in particular on the 1st time or the 4th time, depending upon, you know, whether or not I suck on the time that I'm recording it. But anyway, we need to freeze this octopus and then swim on through. And down here, I believe this is actually going to be, yes it is, okay, this is considered still part of the bottom of the ocean. And you will see here that Davy Jones's locker, D. Jones's locker, has a crack in it. We can actually open that with a grenade egg, and if we go inside, it will be the boss for Jolly Roger's Lagoon. However, we don't have enough time to tackle him as of now, and we're probably not going to tackle him in the next video, because I believe there is a warp pad down here, so we can address it at any time. And I'll probably keep it towards the end. No, I do not want to warp jam jars. Over here, you will actually see a hole in the ground, but we can't go down it. The pressure is too much for Banjo-Kazooie. We would be crushed, so we will have to find a way to get around that. And there's also that empty honeycomb piece inside that fish that I would love to get. And there we go. And that is going to be it for this video, people. I'm going to cut it just a bit short because, like I said, there's not really much more we can do, especially now that we are down by the boss and an area we can't enter. So I am going to call this video done, and I thank you guys for watching.